motivational live chats by me, or me just basically using my channel as alternative budget therapy once again. The choice is yours. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing really well. I got a coffee. Today I am Mr. Cool. Harry Potter jumper is on. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk about this. A lot of stuff has changed in a big way since I was a teenager. McFly are all really old now and have loads of babies. Daniel Powter is no longer top of the charts, which is a real shame. Something else that's changed a lot since 2006, add it onto the pile, is my weight. If you put my current figure next to the figure I had when I was a teenager, you would literally think it was a different person, and not just because I got rid of the dodgy Lily Allen fringe. Believe it or not, I haven't always had thighs that could wrestle against Zeus himself, and I haven't always had a festive selection box of chins on offer. At one point maybe, I was a little bit of, not a chubby kid, but I was forever hearing about the promise of this mysterious puppy fat that would miraculously disappear as soon as I started secondary school. But then when I reached maybe 15 or 16 years old, I became very, very slim. I mean, I'd wear white skinny jeans and feel great in them. That's how slim I was. A size 6 at one point, with a metabolism that seriously put a shift in and deserved a hefty pay rise. As far as I can remember, it's a bloody long time ago now, but as far as I can remember, I don't think I particularly tried to be slim at all at that point. I was just a kid, and that's what my body decided to do as I grew up. It's the way the cookie crumbles, my friends. But of course, while that kind of sounds like the dream figure, that doesn't mean to say that I was happy or comfortable in myself in any way. And like most teenagers, I pretty much thought it was the grossest thing to have been invented since scrambled egg. And was still convinced that even when walking into Topshop and buying size 8 clothing, that I was too fat. Of course. But at that point, my mentality about my body wasn't really raising any alarm bells. Like, it was just the common rhetoric that I heard every single day while going to an all-girls school. My friends were constantly on weird diets, constantly berating themselves about their body and the way they looked, constantly talking about being too fat. And that chat, I think, like a lot of other young girls, it just osmosised itself straight into my system too. Osmosis? Is that what I mean? When the potato takes in all the water? Wow, maybe I should have listened in science lessons instead of just thinking about diets all the time. Imagine where I could be. Anyway, all you want when you're a teenager is acceptance and validation and approval from everyone around you. And then, at that time, being thin was just a part of that. But fast forward, and then university happened. Oh, imagine my brewing mental health problems are a Mentos sweet, and university was a fresh, unopened, but heavily shaken bottle of Coca-Cola. Yeah, hitting my 20s at university also coincided with being in a long-term relationship that was pretty much the worst of the worst. It was the worst of times. The worst. Capital T, capital W, trademark on the end. I've spoken about it and the breakup that ensued many years later. I've spoken about it a little bit before, so if you're intrigued then feel free to go for a rummage on this channel. But basically, in a jolly nutshell, it was a relationship that was entirely devoid of love from one side. Spoiler, that side was not me. And funnily enough, when you're with someone for 7 years who shows you no love, you forget that you're supposed to feel those things about yourself too. When you're not getting them from the person who means the most to you in the world, you forget that you're supposed to feel love just for yourself. Oh, I've literally just chucked coffee all over myself. I'm getting too excited. So, come on down. 3 years of being alone at university with nothing but eating disorders to bring you comfort and joy. Come on down and play the game. Being so painfully sad and unhappy in myself most of the time meant that my hand was basically outstretched to gladly welcome in a terrible relationship with food and a very steep, rapid decline in body image problems. I was completely vulnerable to it, and looking at it now, it was probably inevitable, I would say. I think a lot of the time these things, there is no avoiding them, and it is like a very fast car crash that you can't do anything about, and you can sort of see it happening. And the cherry on top of that little ice cream sundae is that I also gained weight very quickly, and my body changed and became something that I not only didn't like, but didn't recognise or accept. I very quickly wanted my old body back, and I wanted my old weight back. One of my less great ideas, let's put it that way. As I'm sure a lot of you will fully relate to, let me tell you that trying to keep your body the same through your 20s as it was in your teens is a miserable and controlling mission impossible that even Tom Cruise would probably not do very well at. That pressure on yourself is nothing but stress and work and rules, and then when you don't follow them and you buckle under the pressure that you're putting on yourself, a whole lot of punishment. Because I'd been so slim in my teens, my early 20s were a time of constant comparison to my past self. I was always siding myself up with how I used to look. And I was just always chasing this impossible idea that I should stop my body from changing, and constantly battling to try and keep it as slim as it had been in the years before. Like some kind of weird Lady Macbeth who was obsessed with her thighs getting bigger and the back size on her bra going up. Why? Couldn't tell you, but that's the joy of mental health problems. Nobody understands why, but your brain is so crazy. Probably not the time for a song. That's my tale of joy and wonder and sparkle. But here's the bigger picture that is the purpose of this video. Any kind of dramatic, even not dramatic, any kind of change in the way your body looks, if you are predisposed to food problems, self-esteem struggles, is shitting terrible. And probably hitting the nail on the head of this whole thing is that when I googled for some like professional advice to include in this video on like how to handle changes in the way your body looks, the only thing that came up was how to change the way you look. If that doesn't just sum this all up, I don't know what does. I kind of think that a changing body for lots of us is instantly a negative change. Like nothing about it can possibly be a good thing. Diet culture seems to think that we should remain, stay, be stagnant at the exact same slim size, whatever age you are, whatever circumstances you're going through, whatever else is going on in your life, it doesn't matter. You need to stay at the size that is prescribed as the best size. And if you don't, if you dare to decide that your focus might go on something else instead, if you dare to decide that losing weight might not be your first priority, dare to let your body get any bigger, then you failed. You don't have the discipline, you're unhealthy, you're not working hard enough at the things that really matter, and if your body gets bigger, your lifestyle is wrong. So a brief intermission, please lads, while we realise how utterly ridiculous that idea is. Like, just something about that for a second. Whatever is going on in your life, whatever circumstances, whatever awful, terrible things you're going through, whatever happy things you're going through, and your focus has shifted onto something else, whatever you're facing, you should still be remaining the same prescribed size at all times. And if you dare to deviate from that, mainly upwards, you're doing life wrong. I feel like there might be some holes in that logic somewhere. It's almost insane, like the expectation and the assumption that we should remain looking the same from the age of about 17, 18, when you are literally still a child who is only just old enough to be allowed behind the wheel of a car, and your metabolism deserves a Nobel Prize for effort. That body should allegedly be the same shape and weight through to me being almost 28 now. According to the media, I should still have that size 8 body as a 28-year-old now. Having gone through 10 years of life, my main focus should still be maintaining a size 8 body. That is mental. Are you okay, hun? Who wrote these rules, and are you okay? So say maybe you're like me and you've been everything from a size 6 to a size 16 or bigger or smaller. Maybe you're in recovery from years of eating disorder hell, or you're still very much in it. Maybe you're pregnant with a tiny little miracle inside of you. Maybe you've had a big operation. Maybe you're going through the menopause. Maybe you're just growing up a bit and things aren't the same as they were last year. Maybe any other factor in your life is vaguely contributing to a change in how your body looks. Imagine that. That's very normal. It is very, very normal for your body to change with you through life. According to my very scientific calculations on the old YouTube demographics, most of you guys are in your 20s. So let me just say this in case one of you needs to hear it. Your body is supposed to change right now. The hills are alive with the sound of hormones, pal, with songs about fat distribution that they have sung for 1,000 years. It's really shit and it sucks, but you're not a kid anymore, so you don't have to have a kid's body anymore. That's not something that you need to change. Actually, instead, it's a good and a wonderful and an empowering thing that your body is changing, and you are moving through this dumpster fire of life as the self that you should be, both inside and outside, and you look exactly as you should, and your body is changing just how it needs to. I mean, I've said 1 billion times now that I have zero good advice about how to be body confident, because I'm not, and that is so far removed from me, and it is something that I cannot relate to. I am right there with you, and that's what these videos are, in trying to figure out how to be happier with all of this. But all I can say is that my most important realization is that your body is supposed to change, and it is important to be kinder to yourself about that. I spent 10 years at war with my own body because of all of this. I'm just really tired of it, and that is how things began to change for me. I just decided that I was really tired of hating myself. Like, I'm so over it. Anyone else up for that, maybe? Because I'd say first, just come to terms with the idea that you can still care for yourself and be kind to yourself, and stop thinking those awful, insulting things about yourself without entirely loving your body wholeheartedly. It's obviously the dream one day, and we all want to get there, but it's all about the first steps, which are the biggest ones to making a change. And you can make the first ones without necessarily seeing the finish line in the distance. That could be so far away from you still, and the idea of loving your body can be so foreign to you. That's okay, but you can still make the decision to say, I'm gonna stop being horrible to myself every time I look in the mirror. You can still do that. You and your body, whether you like it or not, you move through life and you ride the wave and you change together with the ebbs and the flows of life, and you're in it together. And part of that is a change visually as much as you change inside. Easier ways that you can be kinder to yourself and not hate your changed body so much. Number 1, buy clothes that fit comfortably instead of clothes that make you feel awful or that you feel as though you need to slim into. Don't know about you, I used to have a wardrobe of stuff that I thought, one day I'll fit into these again. No, get rid of them. It's just pressure and reminders every time you open your wardrobe of the mindset that causes you so much sadness. And alleviating that pressure of a constant supply of clothes that one day you will fit into will make you feel so much better. Get your phone, go through the list of people that you follow on Instagram. Pause this video right now if you want. Go do it right now. If they in any way leave you feeling lesser, if they leave you comparing, if they leave you feeling pressured or inferior in any way, unfollow. I used to do it. I used to follow a load of accounts that I thought, oh, actually I just follow them because they inspire me, because they'll inspire me to go to the gym and they'll inspire me to eat better and eat healthier. No, they just made me feel so bad about myself that I'd pressure myself into eating much less food every time I looked at them, and then beating myself up if I happened to stumble across them while I was eating. half packet of biscuits. Like, really question why you follow people. And if any part of it leaves you feeling crap, eliminate that. Your social media space is supposed to be a space of fun and positivity that you want to see. And then actively seek out a variety of body shapes and sizes to remind you that it's not a case of one size fits all. There is not one perfect body type. There is a body type that makes the most money for the diet industry, and that's the one that you see everywhere because it is the most profitable body type. If I find myself longing for that body that I had when I was 19, 20, and being horrible about the one that I have right now, I try to remind myself that actually this one that I have today has taken me through some of the hardest things I have ever been through. Like grief, heartbreak, depression, anxiety, loss, all extremities of emotion. This body right here is the one that's taken me through all of those things. So I should probably be a little bit kinder to it and appreciate it more. If it was a person, I would be forever grateful to it for sticking with me through all those things and carrying me through it. And it is a person, it's me. It sounds well cheesy to say it, and I wrote it down and thought like, ugh, vomit, but I've grown from all those experiences, and so my body has grown with me from them too. A changing body does not mean, I can't say this loud enough for the people at the back, a changing body does not mean that you have let yourself go. That's not even a thing. If letting yourself go means that you've stopped being obsessed with calories and weight loss and you've started to accept the way you look and be more chilled out, then sure, yes mate, letting myself go sounds marvellous, I'm all for that. Maybe actually letting yourself go is more just about like trying to trust your body to manage and balance things out all by itself. If you're eating good, fresh, lovely food and you're enjoying it and you're living a full life that you enjoy and you're not spending every day unhappy, punishing, restricting, doing things you don't want to do, if you're not doing all of that and you're just happy, then maybe this is just the weight that your body has comfortably decided that it wants to be. Honestly, I don't even really know what this is. I literally just chucked on a big old sweaty jumper because I was thinking about how I used to feel and how desperate I was to stop change happening to my body. And that makes me so sad. I wasted oh god. Ah man. Now I look like a red eyeballed freak. Freak of the week. I wasted so much time, and so many of my friends have wasted so much time trying to be smaller or whatever. Okay, I pulled myself together. Now I've got a red nose. Sorry about that. Can't be bothered to find any concealer. It was just something that I was thinking about and it made me a bit sad thinking about it, and I thought maybe I can turn this, my Mr. Burns fingers came out and I thought maybe I can turn this into a positive message. As someone who has been all over the shop in terms of dress size, measurements, whatever, I'll tell you that the only time I've ever been happy is when I stopped caring about it and when I got a bit bigger and just stopped caring. And yeah, you're meant to be a person that grows inside and out and ebbs and flows through changes of life, and your body is very much a part of that. And the moral of this story is a good question. Anybody know the answer to that? Because I certainly don't. Put less pressure on yourself. Don't focus so much on how you're changing on the outside and focus more how you're changing on the inside. And the most important change is when you start to give several less shits about what is going on the outside. That's the change that you're after. That's the one that you gotta go for. I hope this was all right. All I ever think now is that as long as like one person enjoys this video, then that'll do. Anyway, I'd love to have a chat with you about this in the comments. I'm intrigued to know what you think about all this. I hope it kind of made sense. Probably didn't. So if you did enjoy this video, please do give it a little thumbs up and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are new. I'll be hanging around in the comments box to have a chat with you about this. I'd love to know if you get where I'm coming from. That's mainly what I like to hear with these things. I just like to know that I'm not the only one. It's very reassuring. Don't forget you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both at Lucy Jane Wood, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye! Also, sorry for crying, lol.